Today's better than yesterday, but still pretty cold. Joe, I think they're going to be opening this one here soon, this place.
I think so. I saw the guy coming out.
It used to be burritos. I don't know what it's going to be now.
Mexican.
It'll be a Mexican food place. What's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Boogie Bob, along with his faithful sidekick and companion Jordan Joe.
How was your vacay, everybody?
How was your vacay, everybody? Joe, do you think everybody went on vacation yesterday?
How was your weekend?
How was everybody's weekend? We still got one more day of weekend today, Joe. By the way, Joe, what's the temperature out here?
The temperature is 51 degrees.
It ain't no damn 51 degrees right now, Joe. There is no way. How could it be 51 right now? I'm freezing.
Yeah, it's going down to 40.
It feels like right now it's 30 degrees out. I'm not even kidding. It's cold. I think Joe just makes up numbers. Says whatever he wants to say.
All day, it's coming down. How is everybody?
Hi, everybody. Clara's here, Joe. Good old Clara. Hi, Clara.
How you doing, Clara?
Ambrose Chamber Pot's in his house. RJ, hope you're feeling better. Valerie Wood, God bless you, hun. I can't see the names. They're going by so quick. There's so many people in here. Treating. Hi, Treating. Treating's in the house, Joe.
How you doing, Treatment?
Hi, Treatment. Joe, yesterday, I got a call from every person on here. Every person on here said, you know what, we love Joe. Bob, can we get Joe something? I said, yeah. They said, we want to get Joe a Dunkin' card for $10.
Dunkin' Donuts.
That's for you, Playboy. You're going to get yourself a little, what are you going to get, Joe?
Thank you.
What are you going to get, a coffee and a little donut?
Coffee and donut, yeah, that's good.
Joe doesn't like the donuts at Starbucks. What do you like better, Joe? Be honest. The coffee at Starbucks or the coffee at Dunkin' Donuts?
Well, I change once in a while here, once in a while there. But
Which one do you prefer?
Dunkin' Donut is better.
There's our commercial right there, folks. Dunkin' Donuts, if you're watching, this guy drinks coffee. We're 50 feet away from Starbucks. He says, no. I'm going to walk to Dunkin' because I like Dunkin' better. Why do you like it better, Joe?
Dunkin' Donut is better and tastier.
Tastier. Ooh, those are fighting words right there if you're a Starbucks guy. Plus, Joe, the good news is at Dunkin' Donuts, once you get your coffee, you can get a delicious donut. They don't offer the good, delicious donuts at Starbucks. You ready to do the news?
Oh, yes.
Let's do the news. High-speed tragedy. Cop car racing to emergency hits and kills a woman in Queens. Joe, we've talked about this before.
That happened a year ago. I think they hit a boy about 12 years old, I think. Yeah,
did they kill him?
Yeah, of course.
Let's give you that, Joe. Put it under there for right now. It's horrible. A cop car is headed to a cop car, Joe, is headed to... It's windy out here, bro. It's very windy out here.
It's an accident. That's fatal accident.
The cop car is headed to a emergency call in Queens. Hits and kills a woman. That is horrible. Shouldn't happen. I know it does. Also, Joe, Jimmy Carter. Do you know how old Jimmy Carter is, Joe?
98 years old.
Joe does know how old he is. He's 98 years old, Joe. Yesterday he was taken to a hospice. A hospice is a place like a hospital. It's there to take care of you, have a nurse to help you, hold you down.
Home.
It's kind of a nursing home. It's kind of strange
But
that you have an ex-president, one of the beloved presidents. You know, Joe, he got out of the White House. He's dedicated his entire life to building homes for the homeless and to help underprivileged people.
Yes.
I can't think of another president who had done more after being president. Joe, this guy has a beautiful dog. He's always out here with that big-ass sheepdog. I can't think of another president who's done more with his time after the White House to help people than Jimmy Carter, Joe.
Jimmy Carter is
Jimmy
I think,
Carter.
the best president we have since the establishment of this USA.
He's a little Georgia guy.
He's a
Peanut
man
farmer.
of peace.
He's a man of peace. And I was too young. I didn't vote for him. I wasn't old enough to vote. But
I voted for him.
Joe voted for him. He
He
had one
was-
of the worst economies in the history of the United States, but I don't believe that was his fault.
Actually, I was working with women at that time.
Working
in
with who?
Walgreen.
Uh-huh.
And all the women were there. Oh, he's very handsome. We're gonna vote for him.
Are you sure you're not getting him mixed up with Bill Clinton?
No, him.
All right.
They said he's very handsome.
Yeah, he is.
And they voted for him.
Joe, up until a month or two ago, the guy was out there hammering nails, building buildings. He was building buildings.
He does. If you have a broken window, a broken door, he'll come and help out.
All right. By the way, guys, today I could not get the Post. Joe, you'll tell me. You'll be honest. This Daily News is a horrible, shitty newspaper.
Yeah, it's all advertisement.
It's a lot of advertisements. I have to dig 50 pages before I can even find a story. Here's a picture, Joe, of the what it looks like. Wrestling with this damn wind. There's the cop car that smashed into this Mercedes. I don't know if the lady was in the Mercedes or not. I look up, all I hear is a police car. You know, the bring noise as they respond to a call. The Daily News is a horrible paper. By the way, it's $1 more than the Post. It's just, you figure all papers are the same, they're not. It's just, the layout is horrible. Joe doesn't even want to do the horoscopes. He hates the horoscopes in here. They're written crazy. A judge lets trial go as a juror takes a nap. Now, Joe, when I had jury duty during COVID, first of all, I was an alternate. I was kicked off the jury. I believe they were reading my notes. Of the 12 people, I was the only one that found this guy 100% not convictable. Did he do it? Yeah, absolutely. But I felt they were racial profiling him as a kid from the Bronx. His name was Yankee. Shot. He was with a group of guys who shot at some people. He's looking at 25 years. I had him 100%, just not enough to convict. And they kicked me off the day of the trial. I went for 3 weeks, listened to all the evidence. I was the only one. At least 3 or 4 of my fellow jurors fell asleep. You're tired. I got tired many times. The poor girl beside me was like, and the judge is looking like, I guess it's pretty common, Joe. You have these morning trials. Anyways, several people fell asleep. This guy, a Queens robbery suspect, had his conviction tossed on appeal because one of the jurors was nodding off and sleeping during his trial. And the judge let the panelists stay over the objection of defense lawyers. It's exactly what happened in my trial. When I was one of the jurors, the girl was trying to holler at her. She was sitting right beside me. I kept nudging her, you're gonna get in trouble. Can't fall asleep. Some guy's ass is on the line. Hate is the enemy. Kinmorn young gay man found burned and shot to death. So can you imagine being burned and shot to death just because you're a young gay black male? This is horrific and horrible. I hope the people who did it rot in hell and go to prison. Then to the chance of justice for DeAndre, a young gay man from Brooklyn who was burned and fatally shot on a remote section of Flatbush on a freight train tracks, was mourned Friday. He was 19 years old, Joe. 19 years old, whole life ahead of him. You're going to hate on someone because who they love? You're the one with the problem, my friend. Those that did that. Brooklyn's, oh boy. Joe, we just talked about this. We're streaming with Vinny. Streaming with Vinny would have a good thing to say about this, or a bad thing to say about this. But this is the Brooklyn Pizzeria. If you watch Saturday Night Fever, this is where John Travolta got his piece. And there's a guy trying to wear the Travolta. Oh shit, it's actually Travolta. There's Travolta with the pizza.
That was his birthday.
That's an older Travolta.
Yeah.
Joe says it's his birthday.
Yeah.
End of a delicious era. Bensonhurst is near Saturday. Is near Saturday as Frank Giordano, Maine, owner of Lenny's Pizza, readies one of his very last pies. The slice joint was made famous by John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever. Can you imagine that was your legacy? 50 years of Saturday Night Fever. Joe, I watched it. I wasn't from New York. I'm at home chilling, and in California, little boy, you're watching it. Here's John Travolta. He gets a pizza and he folds it over on top of it. You're like, what the hell's he doing? First of all, in California, we never had no slices of pizza. You buy a Domino's pizza, get a little tiny sliver. Out here, he's got this big-ass monster piece of pizza. He would fold it over. He walked down the street hollering at girls, wearing his tight pants with no back pockets. That's crazy. Anyway, Brooklyn's Lenny's Pizza. It's Travolta's fave in Saturday Night Fever. It's to shut. The legendary Lenny's Pizza won't be staying alive. Okay, I hate when these writers do stupid shit like that, but that was kind of fun. Yeah. It ain't staying alive. Legendary Lenny's Pizza won't be staying alive. The 70-year-old Brooklyn business made famous after John Travolta grabbed 2 slices of the pie. He grabbed 2 slices, he put them like this and chomped them down like a sandwich. Like, what the hell's he doing? The tourists, they came from all over the world to go there. Owner Frank Giordano, 77, made the decision to retire and spend more time with his family, including his daughter. I'm very surprised he didn't sell the place. I'm sure somebody would want to buy it.
Travolta, he can sell his name.
Sell it?
That's a lot of
Travolta, Tony Manero, that was his name, in the 1977 hit movie, famously ordered 2 slices of Lenny's before scarfing down the pizza as he strutted along 86. He liked to strut. He actually did this was introduced to the world as a double-decker. That's when you take the pizza, you flip that shit up, and you got yourself a pizza sandwich.
Where is that place located?
It's in Bensonhurst. Why don't we go right now, Joe? You want to go to Bensonhurst with me right now, Joe?
No. Okay. I can have pizza anywhere.
Joe will go across the street and get a slice of pizza. Anyways, people from all over the world are coming to say goodbye. I grew up eating Lenny's Pizza for 23 years. God bless him. I never tried Lenny's Pizza. Never had it. Looks like I never will. Oh boy. We covered the story, Joe. There's the car upside down. There's the father. The daughter's in a coma. Okay, it's not called a coma. It's called coma. I always say a coma. The daughter in coma. Her husband charged in car knife attack. This is the guy who wrecked the lady's car and then went out and started stabbing her, Joe. A Pastor Chuck Moore knows the odds are stacked against his comatose daughter. 2 months after she was ran down by an SUV. This is the guy's SUV. He actually ran her over, flipped the car. There he is, piece of crap. There's the daughter. Then he, after he ran her over, Joe, he got out of the car, because the car flipped. He couldn't drive off, and then he went over and stabbed her. Oh boy, I hate to see this, Joe. Look at this guy. It's not a good paper, bro. It's not a good paper. Family wonders why a man died after a shoplifting bust. The guy went in to steal some batteries or whatever he was stealing, and he's dead. A Manhattan man struggling with drug addiction. That's what happens, Joe. They struggle with drug addiction, and they're going in there to steal shit. They don't care what it is. Shampoo, rice-a-roni, anything they can sell on the street, they're going to do. One thing that's really big, Joe, in certain states, the city or the state or the government will give you bottles of water, right? A case of water. And the home, or sodas, and the homeless get them with their EBT card, their welfare card. So they buy the case of sodas, they go in the parking lot, pour the soda on the ground because they want the bottle, which is 5 or 10 cents. So they'll pour out $40 worth of soda to get their dollar in their things. This is how bad drug addicts have it. When they need the money, Joe, they need the money. You feel me?
It's terrible. Yeah.
Do you know where I can go score a dime bag, Joe?
Dime bag is all over the USA.
If I give you $10, can you go cop me a dime
No,
bag?
I don't go through that. But
Joe's not doing it.
You can buy it anyway.
All right, I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go cop a dime bag. Manhattan man struggling with drug addiction was trying to put his life together before a sudden death in NYPD custody, Joe, leaving heartbroken family members wondering what went wrong after a shoplifting arrest last month. Travis Durkin, 47, died 3 weeks after he was found unconscious in a Manhattan courthouse holding cell while awaiting arraignment on multiple shoplifting. A lot of times, Joe, they get found in those holding cells or in the back of cop cars because if they do have some kind of drug on them, they try to swallow it so they don't get busted with it when they search them at the station house. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm sure the autopsy will let them know. I hope that there was nothing nefarious about it.
That's how they smuggle drugs to Europe. They swallow about 100 bags.
100 bags, 100 condoms.
Yeah, I seen it on YouTube. And then they take them to the X-ray, and they're in trouble.
Got a big-ass bunch of golf balls in his stomach full of coke.
Yeah.
Ex-President Jimmy Carter in hospice care after hospital stay, Joe. Former President Jimmy Carter has decided to receive hospice care at his home. Okay, so he's not at a hospice. He's getting hospice care, but at his home. He's very wealthy. He's got a nice home.
Well
he's got
taken care of.
Yeah, Secret Service and maids and butlers. I'm sure have been there for years.
Yeah, and guards. And
You know what
love.
number? You know what number president he was, Joe?
No, I don't remember, but he's #1 president.
He's number 39. Number 1 to Joe. Number 1 in our hearts. We're praying for a very speedy recovery. Joe, how many times have we got to cover the same shit? I'm tired of it, man. Look at this, Joe. That is a garage that used to have bicycles in it, Joe. It's another Fire Destroys e-bike store in Brooklyn. This isn't a home. This is a store that sells e-bikes. You think they would know better than to have? Look at all those burnt up bikes, Joe. How many burnt up bikes do you see there? A couple hundred? The whole store is full of bikes.
How that happened?
Fire Destroys e-bike store in Brooklyn.
Somebody must.
Charred remains of e-bikes and other gear at the 11th Avenue Brooklyn store after one of the things caught on fire at night. Lucky that it didn't kill everybody in the building, because you know most of these stores, Joe, have people that live above it. There's the store. There's the building above it. Well, I'll be damned. He's free. This is the bird that escaped. This is a horned owl. I had some wonderful pictures of Barry the barred owl. He ended up being killed. He was a huge, as a birder, he was a huge bird a couple winters ago. I'd be taking pictures of him. I found him in the middle of the lock out there. And anyways, long story short, Barry got hit by a truck. He flew down low and one of the workers, one of the maintenance trucks, hit him and killed him. This is a different owl. This is a barred owl, a horned owl. And he escaped from the zoo, Joe. They're just going to let him live out there. We talked about him the other day. He escaped from the zoo. The Central Park has a zoo. Did you know that, Joe?
Yeah,
Have you ever taken the kids?
I went there many times. I took the kids and the grandkids.
Well, it's a Eurasian.
Small.
It's a small zoo, but they got polar bears, they got seals, they got all kinds of stuff out there.
Yeah, I used to go to Bear Mountain, if you remember.
Go where?
Bear Mountain. They have bears.
Bear Mountain?
Yeah,
What do I know?
in captivity. And it's a beautiful place. You never been there?
I've been there. I have
Bear
been.
Mountain?
Bear Mountain? No, I've been to Central Park Zoo. What the hell, Bear Mountain?
Mountain.
Joe just changed the subject. Where's Bear Mountain,
It's a
Joe?
summer resort. Beautiful summer resort.
All right.
You can go there and barbecue. They have a lake.
Why don't we go right now, Joe?
No, in the summer now it's cold.
Well, the Eurasian owl that flew the coop at Central Park Zoo after someone tore open his habitat will remain a free bird for at least now. He's just chilling in the zoo. Joe, if you're an owl living in Central Park You don't really have predators except some of the hawks, but it's a big owl, and he's going to be eating all kinds of squirrels, pigeons. There's all kinds of stuff
They
for him
like
to eat
mice,
in there.
yeah. They like mice.
All right.
Justice must be served.
I'm going to keep going there. It's a really horrible newspaper, bro. I'm dying to find a story here. It's just, Joe was right. It's all advertisements, big ass stories. Beyonce's grandma bought some Nikes. Just stupid stuff. It's a really horrible, horrible paper. I have to tell you, it's the worst paper in the world. Full of loathing and booze, a librarian guns down 6 innocent people in Florida.
Yeah, that's what happened. I read it yesterday. 6 people.
I mean, they're still putting up stuff of Cher when she wore this outfit 40 years ago at the damn Oscars. It's just a horrible, wretched paper. I had no choice. I gave you what I got, and they didn't have the Post today. I'm just scooping through here. Financial help. Here's how to use a computer.
Did you tell them about Ohio Trail? The train, which was trail.
We have for about 2 weeks now. There's a train. It's still on fire in Ohio, and people are getting sick. Joe, animals are dying. Their pets are dying. And they feel trapped because they live there. Where are they going to go? Police seek a person of interest in a Harlem slaying. Happy Sunday, everybody. Please be kind. Joe, would you please be kind to me today? Police want to talk to a man seen in Harlem near a smoke shop where a man was fatally shot in the neck. Surveillance images of the bearded man wanted for questioning for the shooting of the Level Up Exotic Smoke Shop on 125th and 5th Avenue. That's the heart of Harlem. That's Alfred Johnson, 42, was shot in the neck and chest inside the store around 10 p.m. The guy went to go buy a dime bag and got shot in the store, Joe. Man in fight before being shot dead. Here's another one. Guess where at, Joe?
In the Bronx?
That's correct. A man gunned down on a Bronx street last week was embroiled in a fight with at least 4 teens before he was shot. Some coward pulled out a gun and shot him. Isaac Collins was on East 176th Street near Anthony Avenue in Tremont around 5:30 p.m. on Wednesday. 4 young men between 15 and 20 years old dressed in all black were seen running from the scene. How are you going to catch that?
15 or 20?
Four young black men or 4 young men of color in a black, all black. They're never going to get caught. Shot and killed them.
If you put some price for $1,000 price, they will get.
Oh, their mama will turn them in.
Yeah,
Hi, is that reward still
available?
available? My son Jim did it. Now I can get cash, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't care. Joe, this might be the worst paper in the history of the world. It's all Joe said. You want to buy a Nissan Sentra? I can help you out here. You want to take a trip to Bahamas?
How was your
No
Bahamas?
problem. How was your Bahamas, everybody?
Was it good?
By the way, Joe, I want to say that Alfred Kloos, your old buddy from Canada, Joe.
How was your Canada?
Remember we stopped by his place when me and you did our show from Canada? From
Albert Kloos?
where did we do our show from Canada? What city were we in, Joe?
I've
were
never
in,
been to Canada.
We did our show from Canada, Joe. Don't you remember?
I remember, but I don't remember the day.
I don't remember. We were in the 6 with my woe. And Alfred, I go home the other day, Joe. I open up this envelope. And how was your Canada, Joe? I open up this envelope. I'm like, what the hell is this? Alfred Kloos sent me 2 pens, Joe. One says kindness and one says love or sharing. I can't remember, but I have them at home. I'm going to bring you one tomorrow, Joe. That's your gift from your dear friend, Alfred. Alfred, thank you. We were in Saskatoon.
How you doing, Alfred?
We were in Saskatoon.
How is Canada?
How's
cold
Canada?
Weather?
So thank you, Alfred. That was very sweet, and I appreciate you very much. Guys, while I'm on the topic, I do want everyone to please make sure you continue to pray for our friend, Michelle McGraw. She lost her little puppy dog, Tiny. Tiny was her little world, and you guys know how much it is. You know what it's like to lose a pet, Joe. You've lost a lot of pets this year. In the last year or two, it's devastating. It's like losing a child. So we're going to continue to pray for her. All right, Joe, you want to do your little astroscopes before we get out of here? This is a horrible news. Guys, it wasn't us. Usually it's us. It wasn't us, Joe. It was the, well, usually it's Joe. Usually Joe's a piece of crap. Today it wasn't Joe. It was the paper. As soon as I sat down with the news, Joe said, that's not a good paper. It really isn't. I'm sitting here struggling, trying to find. You can have a dental makeover. You can get cosmetic surgery. This is a newspaper, bro. All they do is sell ads. I know they're trying to stay afloat, but it's insane. It's insane.
All right, if you were born this month, and if you are Pisces is...
If you were spicy.
Pisces born,
if you're
born
spicy,
from February 19 to March 20.
Joe, do you got any Bitcoins?
Why?
Because I got a feeling the whole Bitcoin thing getting ready to collapse on y'all. Get out of that Bitcoin, bro.
I don't have any money anyhow.
Every other day a new place is going under.
Okay, Pisces.
You'll be sorry. Get out of that.
Securing people's attention by telling them secret could appeal to you now. However, this might then draw their interest to your own difficult private affairs. Not just those of whoever else you are gossiping about. Instead of stirring the pot, you may be better off meeting your hunger for connection by choosing to share something positive.
By the way, Joe, the astroscopes in this paper are like 4 hours long.
Okay, I give him another Taurus.
Joe's going to give you one or two because otherwise we're sitting here reading a thesis from college.
The Taurus.
Joe, cut right to the chase on that one.
Buying your own way out of a current power struggle could seem like a logical path forward. Someone might be giving you a hard time regarding something you want to pursue, but there is not a lot they can do about it. Decide whatever your heart's really in the activity, or if the exciting part was actually the fight over it.
I don't know one word Joe said.
How was it?
How was his vacation? How was your vacation?
Cancer.
Ooh, Joe's throwing a bonus in there. I don't know what got into him. I was going to say, Joe, is that it? Joe, is that the one you want to give? It's Cancer?
Yes.
All right.
People.
Your wife is a Cancer.
People.
Yes.
Yes.
Joe's throwing
Pisces, my wife.
Pisces. Who's a Cancer,
no,
Joe?
not Pisces. No,
Joe,
why you said Pisces?
Well, I didn't say Pisces. You're a Pisces. You're a Libra. I don't think Joe knows what the hell he is right now. Who knows?
My wife is Taurus.
Taurus.
Yeah, Taurus.
That's why Joe read the Taurus.
All right. People you...
What is this, Joe? Cancer?
Cancer.
All right.
People you count on for stability may seem unreliable at present. Although you might feel wounded by that, it is possible that there is also a gift for you in it. You have an opportunity to focus on finding the form of personal expression that works best for you.
Okay.
All right.
This could be the worst show we've ever done. If you're new to the channel, our show's usually better than this.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. Who the hell's Paul?
A friend of yours.
Oh, Paul Greenwell. Maybe you're talking about Paul Greenwell. Guys, you can get a Honda Civic right now for $22,777 if you rush on down to Presidential Savings Day. That's listen, the Post is short but sweet, but they're going to give you bang for your buck. This here, I don't, nothing. You want to get dental implants? Dr. Fargrove has got you covered. Joe, did you do birthdays today?
Yes, birthday. Happy birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday, everybody.
What I mentioned right now is Nicholas Copernicus, the astronomer who theorized that planets revolve around the sun.
What's his name?
Nicholas Copernicus.
Copernicus.
He is a Polish
Copernicus.
Astronomer.
I knew I could dig it out. Copernicus.
Imagine he lived in the 15th century and he found out that everybody is wrong at that time. They think the earth was flat.
Some people still do, Joe. There's
But
people watching right now that think the earth is
He
flat.
found out
They saw
that
it on YouTube.
all the planets revolve around the sun. That's a brilliant scientist. Well, you agree?
Yes. My great-great-grandfather discovered, he was the first to discover that snow is cold. It was snowing out. He put snow and he made a snowball. And he was like, this is cold. No one knew that before that, Joe. No one.
You don't play horses, do you?
What does that mean, Joe?
There is a great
You talking about horse racing?
Yeah.
I never have.
It's a jockey by the name of Eddie Arcaro, which I remember him. Race in Hall
Arcaro.
of Fame. He was a great jockey.
All the good jockeys, the Willie Shoemakers and all these guys, they're little tiny guys, Joe.
Yeah,
They're all 4 foot tall and they weigh about 89 pounds. You're not going to have a 350 pound
Yeah, they
jockey.
weigh around 100 and less.
Oh.
100 pounds and
All
less.
right.
Lee Marvin.
Lee Marvin, Joe. What do you know about Lee Marvin?
He's a great actor.
He was a phenomenal. He was a heavy. He played the heavy, the tough guy. Movies like, oh crap. Lee Marvin, always really dry, and what was the one with the 12, Telly Savalas and all those? I'm old, I can't remember. Someone will get it. Ambrose is right now. Well, Lee Marvin.
How are you doing, Ambrose?
Lee Marvin was a badass. Joe's pigeon with 1 foot is here, trying to get some breadcrumbs, ruining the show.
Bobby Rogers.
I'm not even gonna
Tenor, if you remember.
I'm not dignifying that with an answer, Joe.
Smokey Robinson.
Smokey Robinson.
Yeah.
Joe, do you know anything about the Motown movement?
Yeah.
Motown is in Detroit. Smokey Robinson. Hey, oh, Dirty Dozen. Ah, Dave Young for the win. That's a Lee Marvin. That's a Lee Marvin.
Lee Marvin, yeah.
Dave Young, my dear friend. I love Dave Young.
Yeah.
God bless you, Dave. His whole family.
Yeah.
Smokey Robinson, otherwise known as Smokey Robinson. Joe is still performing. I'm not kidding. He's about 89 years old.
83 years old today.
The guy looks like he's 50. Black don't crack. I don't know Smokey. And when you think of a lot of those huge songs from Motown, not just his. Smokey had huge hits, but he wrote for the whole crew. And if you watch The Temptations, the movie, he did several of their big hits. There should have been some perfume. You can do anything that I want to do. I can tell the way you do the things you do. Smokey Robinson, actually met him. I have video online, well, on my other channel. I'm going to have to reboot it up, of Smokey Robinson at the Grammys. And it's me and Smokey doing a Boogie Bob exclusive. I got to pull some of them old ones out. I was up online. Some of you seen it. I got Kenny G. That same day, Kenny G. I was there with Vanilla Ice. Kenny G, Smokey Robinson, Aaron Neville. That was a great day. I had Riff. What was the name? I think their name was Riff. They did the White Man Can't Jump. Don't you know that White Man Can't Jump? Perform on my show. Now this was a show in 1992. Ain't no YouTube. It was me in a big-ass camcorder. You used to have a camcorder on your back like this. Hey, Smokey, how are ya? And you got the eye hole. Hey, Smokey Robinson. Nobody there. No cell phones. It's a Boogie Bob exclusive. Smokey is actually gives me the peace sign. Anyways, what else you got, Joe?
We have Tony Jomi.
Tony Jomi.
He's a rock guitarist, a famous rock guitarist.
A famous rock guitarist named Tony Jomi. First of all, his name is Tony Iommi. So Tony Iommi is the guitar player for Black Sabbath.
That's what's his name, Iommi?
Iommi. He's the guitar player for Black Sabbath. One of the most instrumental heavy metal guitarists of all time. First of all, he's a lefty, just like our dear friend Rev. And he plays a Gibson SG, but Joe, he came from a very hard background, just like everybody. Geezer Butler and Bill Ward. They came from a really tough industrial type of city in England. And they're, tough, hard-working guys all in the factories. Tony Iommi, even though he's one of the greatest guitarists of all time, Joe, cut off the tips of his fingers at a machine shop. So when you see him playing, these are fake. He's got fake tips on. How could you possibly play with fake tips? He has these rubber tips that he puts on. They're hard as rock, and he plays. Tony Iommi, absolute monster guitarist. One of my all-time favorites. He's a lefty. What else you got, Joe?
We have Seal, S-E-A-L.
Well, it's funny, Joe, because I was just talking about my exclusive videos from the Grammys. And I mentioned Smokey Robinson, and I mentioned Kenny G, and I mentioned Riff, what a white man can't jump. And there was a whole bunch there. Well, the one I did not mention, Joe, a Boogie Bob exclusive. He was up for Best Artist of the Year. It was Seal. Seal's on my show. When I get home, I am going to try to upload that. Seal was, I don't know if he won Artist of the Year or not, but he was up for it. I didn't know nothing about him. I'm sitting there filming all these huge superstars, and there's Seal. I go, hey, there's Seal. This was the Seal with the dreadlocks. He has horrible, horrible scarring on his face. When he first got into business, they said it was tribal, something to do with a tribe. I don't think it was. I think he had just horrible, horrible scarring. But man, he's got a voice of an angel. The Kiss from a Rose is one of my all-time favorites, Valerie. Don't make me start singing it and start crying out here. But we're going to find that video. I saved that video. The good news is I have it on my hard drive, and I want to upload it. I've got some really great. That was a beautiful day, Joe, because first of all, who the hell had a camcorder in '92 filming the Grammys? And there was a radio show like WPLJ Hot 95, one of those things, and they're right in the window. Kenny G, Smokey Robinson, Riff, of course. I had Boys to Men. I had what's the guitar player who went on to be in the Sopranos? Lil Steven from Bruce Springsteen, and of course Seal. These are close-up, good-ass videos. I'm gonna drop that one on you tonight. What else you got, Joe?
We have Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell was still is, I think, the commissioner of the NFL. Roger Goodell.
That's correct. Jeffrey Robert Immelt. Who is Jeffrey Robert?
I don't even know what the hell you're saying. Who?
Jeffrey Robert Immelt. He's General Electric boss.
He's the boss of General Electric. It was Lil Steven Van Zandt. Thank you, Jason. I have great footage of him. And it's a Boogie Bob exclusive from 1992. Sat in my closet for 40 years. I just dug it out, and I had put that video up, and I don't think I did it justice. I'm going to re-upload it, and I think you guys are going to be very impressed.
Right. We have on the death side Johnny Paycheck.
Johnny Paycheck. What do you know about Johnny Paycheck, Joe?
He's a country
Was
boy.
a country singer. I don't know nothing about him. Johnny Paycheck. What a name.
Janet Blair. The singer and actress. Janet
Blair. I don't know who the hell that is.
All right.
Sometimes I think Joe just makes up names. I don't know.
Who is that? Ole Matson.
Ollie Matson. Again, You ruined the show, Joe. Who is Steve Johnson? How do I know?
All right.
Oh, did he do Take This Job and Shove It? Johnny Paycheck did Take This Job and Shove It? Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more.
Janet Blair is well known.
Janet
Singer
Blair.
and actress. Janet Blair.
All right, Janet Blair is a well-known singer and actress that no one's ever heard of.
Okay, this guy's name
Don't
is
do it,
Pop. Pop Smoke.
Don't say it, Joe.
Who's
Breaking my
that?
heart right now.
Who's that?
Pop Smoke was one of the greatest rappers,
Really?
most famous rappers in the world, Joe. He came out of Brooklyn. He worked his ass off. He got himself a deal. Pop Smoke became a multi-millionaire. His first record hadn't even come out yet. He had songs all over the radio. Straight out of Brooklyn, Joe. He went out to shoot a video in Beverly Hills. He was renting a house in the Hollywood Hills. The house was owned by something like Billy Joel's daughter or something. It was a famous house. He went up there, Joe. He rented the home. He went to LA to shoot a music video. He ended up getting a package, and he was on Instagram, and he goes, "Oh, look at the package they sent me." Well, there was an address right there. And then the bad people, some bad people, read the address. They dropped a pin on him. They found out where he was staying. They went to the back of the building at 4 o'clock in the morning, went up on the the second level, went in. He was in the shower. A girl was in the bed. He was in the shower, Joe. They went into the shower, fought about his jewelry and his money, shot and murdered him. This was going to be the biggest rapper in the world, Joe. It was huge. It was a horrible, horrible thing to happen to the world. But to Pop Smoke and his followers, I was a huge fan. I was shocked. A dear friend of mine was dating him at the time, and she obviously will never be the same because he worked his way out of Brooklyn to have these Dior, and his rap style was so dope. Everybody loved him. He was going to be a huge superstar. If I walk through Times Square right now, they'll be playing his music, and you'll hear it on somebody's radio. And he was shot and killed by like a 14-year-old gang member. Shot and killed, Joe, over nothing. I think they took his
20
chain.
years old? I think
He was just a young kid.
Yeah.
They did catch the murderers. It took a while, but they caught 4 or 5 of them, and just very tragic. Why do you ruin the show, Joe?
Well, what you gonna do?
What you
But
gonna do?
somebody wrote you something about Janet Blair.
Oh, look at Joe. Joe sits there waiting for Janet Blair.
Somebody did.
It's probably, you already know, it's got to be Ambrose. Ollie Matson was a pro college football player, Hall of Fame. I never heard of the guy. I never heard of him.
Ollie Matson. Never.
I never heard of no damn Ollie Matson. Sometimes I think that you and look at Ambrose. Ambrose is working overtime. Ambrose is working overtime. Ollie Matson. I'm just trying to find this damn. Post it again, guys. I can't find it.
Janet Blair.
Janet Blair. I think Janet Blair is a made-up name. That's what I think. All right, Joe. That's all we got.
We got something for that.
Janet Blair, also known as Martha Janet Lafferty, American singer and actress. Leave It to the Girls and the Smith Family. Never heard of her. I still don't know who it is. Thank you, Ambrose.
I'm fine then.
Joe, why'd you ruin the show? You just got yourself a brand new
I
iPad.
give you names, you don't know who
Joe
they
gives me names. It's my fault because I don't know. Joe, do you got anything else? You got one of your little anecdotes you want to say?
Thank you very much
Hi to your grandkids. You want to say anything?
for that car, for the puppy car.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. I hope that you enjoy it. The Post, the Daily News did not even mention the earthquake in Turkey.
No.
Didn't mention, there's 1,000 things going on. I went to get the Post. Guys, I prefer, my politics are not aligned with the Post. Almost everything in there I disagree with as far as politics.
The number of the dead.
But the Daily News, which I do align with, it's just a shitty rag. There's nothing in there, Joe. Not one interesting story that I gave you today.
The
And I
number
blame Joe
of
for
the
that.
dead people in Turkey was so far 46,000.
It's going to be, Joe said
in
the
Syria,
first day.
In Syria, around 7,000.
The first day, Joe said
Altogether,
that it was.
Equal to 60,000.
Joe said it would be over 50,000. I thought he was insane. because it was only a couple hundred the first day, then it was 1,000, and then Joe said he's going to be over 50,000.
Well, the world was in a shock because that earthquake was so huge. It's almost 500 mile long. The tremor.
Joe said that Turkey literally moved like 2 feet.
No,
The whole
3 meters to the left, to the west.
You can't.
I don't know how they find out, but
Joe
they
makes
said
up a lot of
the
shit.
scientists they know.
Look at this. Look at this right here, guys. Rev just put this up. This would be amazing. Joe has helped. I have helped. If you get a chance and you want to help earthquake victims in Turkey or Syria, you can donate right there. Joe donated $100. I only
200.
donated 200. I donated $20. That's all
It's
I have.
actually the 200 went to buy mattresses. That's what, when I send them, they said, we don't want money, you use the money, we want to buy mattresses because the people are homeless.
They are homeless and their families are there.
And that's a good
It's winter
idea.
time, Joe. It's
That's
winter
a good
time.
idea.
And their family is right across the street from these buildings, hoping that they pull someone out. They did pull out the father yesterday. I covered that on a Boogie Bob exclusive. They
Yes.
pulled out the father, Joe, after 10 days. And his wife, when he woke up from the hospital bed, his wife was there with his 12-day-old daughter. So, anyways, that's a good story. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Let's all be kind and loving to each other. Joe Hernandez donated $50.
Thank you, Joe Hernandez.
Thank you, Joe Hernandez. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Guys, if you get a chance before we leave, please hit the like button. I'll give you 20 seconds. And if you know how to share, if you like the news and you like the format, and I know a lot of you do because you're here all the time, look at this. We got a new one. Roberto Bay's in the house. Hey,
How you
Roberto.
doing, Roberto? How is it?
He rolls the R's. I don't know how to. Hi, Roberto. Roll the R, Joe. Say
Hi,
Roberto.
Roberto.
Hi, Roberto. I got to learn how to roll the R. Thomas Cino's in here. Hi, Thomas. Thank you so much. Sugar Bay, of course. I love you. You know that. RJ, God bless you. RJ, I hope you're feeling better. Everybody, thank you for dropping by. I know a lot of you have better things to do. And today's show was shit. No, just face it. Today's show was shit. Even Treaton says, thanks, guys. Always fun, except today's show was shit. So, sorry, Treaton. I blame Joe. I don't know.
Did you say shit?
No, I lied. Joe, you know I lie a lot. You know I lie a lot. Thanks for tuning in. Please be kind and loving to each other. Be good to yourself because you deserve it. And if ain't nobody told you today you're special, Joe,
You are special, everybody.
everybody's special. Except Kevin Butler. That's what Joe
How
says
you
to me all
doing,
the
Kevin
time.
Butler? How is everything? You left Kevin Butler out.
I screwed up. I left out Kevin Butler.
Why you do this thing?
I don't know. I'm a bad person. You called him Kevin Buttplug, and I don't appreciate that at all. That's not cool. Kevin, I apologize. I'm not joking. He really said that. Jason Francis, thank you so much. Rev, couldn't do it without you. I appreciate you and all you do behind the
Jason,
scenes.
how are you?
Huge shout out to my dear friend David Young. Oh, such a beautiful family. God bless you, David. Thank you for tuning in. Guys, we will do a better show tomorrow. I promise. God bless you.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Good show, Joe.
Yes.
Horrible newspaper. I hate the